All right. Okay. Let's see how this is gonna roll today, guys. Yeah, I got one person on there. If you can hear me, please let me know. So you got one person waiting, but I don't know if anybody's out there. Of course, I picked the one day. I think everybody's doing 4th of July stuff. So, like I said, if you guys can hear me, let me know. So, can you guys hear me at all? Trying to find out if all my stuff is working. If anybody can putting something in the chats, that'd be awesome. Appreciate it. You can hear me. All right. Thanks, Christina. Like I said, we're just gonna kind of run through what we got going on in XCS 2.0, kind of show you some tips, some tricks. You guys got questions, throw them in the chat. We'll walk through stuff. I got a few things we can go over. Some questions some people had this week. We'll go over. So, all righty. So let's get into XCS. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna put up there. Like I said, this is only my second time doing this, guys. So like I said, it's new for me. I'm just trying to dive into this stuff and let you guys, get what you guys are gonna get out of it. Buy a very expensive machine, and we want to make sure that you guys can use what you're what you bought. It's that kind of stuff. So in XCS 2.0, guys, this is what you go come to a home screen now. All your recent files are sitting down here. And kind of scroll through them. There's a lot of ones I've done over this last week. So some fun ones, some memorable ones, some stuff for some family members. So and stuff for work. So I myself, I do tool and die during the day and play with lasers at night. I have two P2s actually. I have an F1, an S1, and an Ultra. Hopefully being shipped out soon. Hopefully. So the basic walkthrough on XCS. Right now, like I said, this is your home screen. Obviously, open new project. We're just gonna go to a new project. That I see on YouTube. I'm my little characters covering up the new project area. So I'll probably turn me off a couple times just so you guys can see a couple things in that area that I notice are you need to be able to see. That's obviously what the process area is going to be. I haven't figured out how to move me besides turning off my camera to get me off of the YouTube screen. So again, like I said, I'm kind of new to this stuff, so we'll figure it out one way or another. Again, if you guys got any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll go through them, show you how to do one thing or another. Except we're gonna go over, your cuts, your extrude, your subtracts, unions, and then, like I said, there's some new features in XCS 2.0. If you guys haven't gotten them, that makes editing software, editing everything you bring in 10 times easier. So just let you guys know. I do have my P2 connected right now because there's a couple things I want to show you. Quick run through on XCS. Obviously, you can see the title block's different. All your normal stuff's the same as what it was in 1.7. Besides, you lose all your bar stuff. It's all more down the side now. So, which is not bad. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm so used to this." It's not bad. Um, a big one that they put in right now is text. Now, wherever you click your text box, it puts it. Also, one of the other things that they do now is when you do your text, you can scroll through text. That's obviously a lot of people really like that feature now. And again, I know a lot of people are scared, don't want to put XCS 2.0 on their computer because it's beta. It's been beta for so long, guys. I'm telling you, they've updated it 5 times since we've been starting with 2.0. So, and it's gotten better every time. So, but that's just one of the features. Obviously, you can click it, take it away. You just double click. You got to select it, then double click, and you go back in. That's one of the things. Again, guys, if you guys got any questions, please go ahead and pop them in the chat. This is, like I said, it's not easier for me to go through that route. I got a couple things I'm gonna go over, but like I said, we're gonna go through some basic stuff, but just throw them in the chat and we can try to answer most of your guys' questions. So obviously your regular rectangle squares, pen tool, coming from 1.7, you know, the pen tool, these little dots were a pain in the butt. You could never see. Now it's a lot easier. You know, you can do a lot more designing, free forming. You know, if you really want to do something and make something of your own. This is where, like I said, part of the tools of 2.0 are a lot more user friendly than they were in 1.7. So don't be scared to switch over to 2.0, guys. Seriously, it's especially the design aspect. It is so much better. Like I said, it's got forward. You can do whatever you want with it now. So that kind of stuff. Let's see what else we got. It's just your basic shapes. Everybody knows where those are at. You do have a lot more bigger ratio stuff. This little icon here will shut that door. AI, if you guys are into it, you can use the AI button. This button here is for your grid array, circle. This is another one. We'll go over this real quick right now. So this is your material test array. There is hotkeys too. You hit shift. Okay, we can go over that, Christina. That's where this laser. You guys want to put in there too if you're running 2.0, if you're still on 1.7, because it does vary a little bit if you're still in 1.7 or if you're in 2.0. So I want to make sure I answer your questions for what you're running. Again, don't be scared of 2.0 at all. We'll do this real quick though. So material test array, it bugs me that people have to buy material test arrays when they're in here. Basically, you just make a shape, circle, square, anything. I normally do, and then this is where you can change your size. So as long as you have it selected, change your size down here, your W, your width, and your height. You do like a quarter, select it, change it to engrave. If you do want to change, the only thing that people don't understand too is you can actually go into the easy set panel and change the lines per centimeter. If you want to do some tests with lines per centimeter and do some more stuff like that, that's where whatever you set in here is what it will default to on all of them. But you can change this. It's one of the items. But all you gotta do is select it, material test array, and it produces that whole thing. And this is another thing in 2.0. You can actually move this out of the way so you can see everything, which is great. So, and then just set your power and your speed. Wood and stuff, I would be careful with 10 by 100, man. Don't run 100 power at 10 speed. It catches a lot of things on fire. I mean, if you want to start working metals and stuff, you can do that with, but really, you know, small thin woods and leathers, don't ever do 100 power and 10 speed. I would recommend at least 20 or 30, at least for the grid, and then you can kind of start working your way down there. So but yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I've seen a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people buying the lasers this last week. It's crazy how many people have just purchased. It's it's blowing up, man, guys. It's a fun thing to do. Like I said, I started with a D1 and I haven't stopped, but I love doing this stuff and I love showing people how to use their lasers. And I myself have only been doing this for about 2.5 years. So it's, like I said, it's something it's not hard to pick up. I do have an engineering background. I think that helps me pick some of this stuff up a little bit. I come from a CAD background, so computers and stuff are second nature to me. So that's how this rolls for me. But other people don't understand too. You can do the cut test the same way. So cut and score. You can do a score test. You'd be surprised that you can get some cool different things. I do a lot of engraving and then actually putting a score on top of it to help kind of pop some stuff out. It actually makes your engraves pop out a little bit more. And I can show you guys how to do that stuff too here down the line. Let me see if I can find a file that's layered for you, Christina. I know I got a couple of them in here. Let's see. Obviously, this one's coming in already separated, which is nice. And usually when you get stuff in nowadays, in 2.0, everything comes in grouped together. So when you want to ungroup it, it's on your right-hand side. You do got to scroll down. So hopefully they're going to come up with a way to fix this problem. So they're making everything. There is going to be one more change, I hope, coming. We'll see. But we got to ungroup. And then in this sense, let's change everything to so what I would do for this kind of stuff, this scenario, either if you have them together or not, the way I have it here, and I can even do it this way. So another feature they have now is you have a center on center. So I don't have to do it one at a time like we've had to do before, left, right. That's another nice thing in 2.0. So all your alignments under here. But the color is the biggest way to separate stuff for you, Christina, is to be able to do that kind of stuff. So the easiest way for me to explain this is just go ahead and pull your layers off because they're going to line back up. That's the nice thing about the things that are done on top of each other. But yeah, just set all your different layers. So to set stuff to different colors, just click your objects, right click, and then move to is so we'll just do that with all these, get them on some different colors. And another thing you can do too is put them on different canvases if you want to kind of separate them. I do that with some of my maps. I actually put the different layers on different maps or different canvases, and I'll show you how to do that too. And sometimes it's nice to have them in here because so you can see them on top of each other. And I actually have one that has them all together, and then I have the individual cut files so I can keep the settings and everything for that one file the way it should be. So, and then depth too. So that's the other question people have is, right now the blue bird's on top of the red bird. Well, if that's not right, you can change your front to back, and that's what this arrange button is for. So if you want to move this one back one, send it backwards. So now that's the blue in front of the red. And that's where, like I said, a lot of people are getting confused with because you're seeing the lines and stuff. Everything in XCS is a solid one way or another. Either it's a line or not. That's how you get the engrave settings. So you gotta picture everything as a solid. That's why some things, the cut in the paste, the cut in the union, it messes with some people. But that's the reason is because everything's treated like it's a solid object, just with holes in it and stuff. So like I said, this is how, I'm hoping I'm answering your question, Christina. And then this is where you can set stuff to engrave and score. Like I was saying before, where, maybe I just want to score the top one instead of doing a full engrave, cut out bird. You can go this last one and, that's where you can change these. This one here can be a score. This one here can be a cut. It's that's where you just saying that same, and you can have the same one. I can make a copy of this one and set that to engrave, and this is how I would do if I engrave something, say I engrave this and then I scored it, you just put those two together, align them, even though there's two different things there. That's where you can just grab your feature at the bottom down here, your layers. So move you guys here. Give me 1 second. I feel like I'm not staring at the camera enough. Flip some screens here. You guys can still see my screen. Ooh, really close. But yeah, that's how. So like now when you go to do this, so if you want it to, because normal operation is score, engrave, cut. So if you do the auto planing right here, you click on this, go to user define. You want to go by layer, just turn that tab on, and then you can go. Then what it does, so you go over to the layer option over here. This is another feature. Again, this is all on 2.0. So if you're not in the 2.0, you could actually go in here and name this. So if you want, if we know this one is score, you can type this one as score. Can't spell, but whatever. And then engrave. And then you know what layer is what. And this is again something new they just did in the newest update, I think, with XCS. So, and again, just align them. And then right now, what it's set. So right now, it's green is set to go first. So we want black. So what we do is we pull black the top. So now it will engrave first, and then it will score. And that's what this feature over here does. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully that answered your question, Christina. Oh, let's see, Dave, what do you got here? So this is where, Dave, this is where it's weird. So I normally engrave lighter, usually like a 30 power, 20 power at 250 on my P2. Not necessarily. Sorry, got people at my door. On my S1, usually it's like an 80, 100 for my grave or my score, and then 75, 150, or even like 60 to do something lighter. So normally what it is, I think I have an example sitting right here that I have. Normally I have some, but no, you usually do kind of a lighter engrave and then go back and then score it out, nice dark outline, and it really makes it pop. It's you'd be surprised. I mean, it's crazy. So, like I said, this is how you do it. You just got to change that order so your engrave goes first, and then your score, and it'll give you that nice crisp edge. Play with it. Like I said, I actually found it really by accident. I was doing some earrings for a customer, and I'm like, didn't change the setting, and it engraved really light. I'm like, well, this looks terrible. So I went back and just scored it just to see what it looked like, and he loved it. I loved it. I've been using that feature for quite a bit now. So, but this is how you do. Hopefully, it answers both of your questions. So, um, but that is that. I do have one thing I'm going to show. I had a couple people ask me this week. They got these SVG files from them, and they couldn't get them to Unite or Union. Quick. And it was weird because it's still an SVG file. It read fine. There was no issues with it, but it will not Union or anything like that. It's this one. So it's just a simple logo, nothing crazy. It was a school logo. She sent me. She could not get this. She just wanted the purple to be, make it bigger so we can see it. Little stuff, you know. And sometimes you'll get an SVG file like this. People that come from Inkscape and stuff like that. What happens is they forget to send it out as an object, or they don't send it as it's a plain SVG, because you can send it out as an Inkscape SVG and it'll still probably send, but it does this where it's like kind of piecemeal here. If I ungroup this, you can see there's a little block there. I have that block, all these things are separate. Well, I was kind of picking through this, and you know, in theory, I should be able to take this block here and just select this one back here, and I should be able to union it. See, it's gonna do it in this one. And this is where, like I said, 1.7, even the earlier 2 wouldn't let me do this. It actually said, no, you can't union those together. And I think the update, that's what I'm saying, another reason to go get the newer update for 2.0, because I think it cleans up some of this stuff. Now, let's see if it still did this. So this is something that people got to watch for too. There is a copy on top of a copy, on top of a copy. Don't be scared to pull some stuff out. That's what the undo button is for. You know, this was something I found for. It was crazy that there was that many different copies. You know, again, undo button. It's a handy thing. You know, all those things would just give you headaches. I'm like, why can't I get this to cut? Why can't I get this to union? That's usually why. You know, and like I said, not all SVG files are created, because sometimes people will actually put a PNG file inside an SVG, and that will actually make XCS very mad also. So now let's see if we can actually union this all together. Here, let's change this to a different color real quick. I can't see my screen. Give me 1 second. Gotta move some bars here. Can't see what I need to see. Right now, and this is what I would do is I bring this in. I want to take black. Here, I might delete some other stuff because it's going to be in the way. You know, if I brought this in and tried to do this, I'm going to union it together, and I'm going to show you some other new tricks that XCS 2.0 has that lets you unify. So you can see everything's separate, which is nice. It's handy. You can pull stuff off, do stuff, edit stuff, you know, clean it up. It's great. It's very useful. You can union this. So again, now it's one piece. I'm telling you, I was in 2.5 or even 2.79, and it would not let me do that on my other computer. I think I'm at 2.85 right now. And again, so let you know, if you go into XCS, it will tell you there's no more updates. You have to go to the website and download it to get the newest one. So, but yeah, you just union that together. This is where you just select everything. This is what I'm gonna do. This is what I did for them. I like doing this in case you said you want to go back and score something, do something different. I'm a big fan of subtract to overlap. I don't like subtract myself. I hardly ever use it, because the problem with subtract is, we'll do this for an example real quick. So subtract is E's on top of the black, purple on black. So if you have this sitting on top, if I hit subtract, it's going to push it through the back. That's how subtract works. It pushes it through the back. Whatever's on top gets pushed through, kind of like a cutout. You know, that's how you got to look at it, like a cookie cutter kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, if you got it sitting on a corner like this and you do subtracted overlap, which is this far one, it does something really weird because it removes the inside middle. So whatever's overlapped is what it's going to erase. But that's where, like I said, with words, stuff like this is why I like using subtracted overlap instead of just subtract, because it doesn't matter if it's forward or back. As long as it's overlapped, it will always cut through. So I don't have to sit there and, hey, make sure you're one way or the other, because again, if I'm the other way, it's gonna eat me the wrong way. It's gonna make all my trindle. So if my black was in the front, it's real quick. So I bring this to the front. So say like that, but you don't notice it because you're running it. You know, we're gonna be in score. And this is another reason why I do a lot of stuff in Engrave, so I can see where stuff is depth wise. That's a big thing, especially, you know, when you're starting to get into the cut and edit stages. So if I do it this way and I say subtract, it doesn't even like it, because it's probably too many things in there. It's probably trying to subtract those centers out too. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not even let me do that. It's a new one. Let's see if it lets me do this. See, subtract overlap worked. I don't know why. I don't. That is weird. Why it didn't let me use the other one though. Go to Engrave and now it's cut out. So, and then I did have somebody else ask me today, "Hey, how do you take an SVG and turn it into a negative?" Because normally you only can do that with pictures. Um, Obviously with the stars is a little difficult, but so with this one, I'm gonna use another feature. So these are some new features over here. You got this edit compound, edit vector, release compound vectors. So you can see right now it's all one piece. I can't edit, I can't move Trindle, I can't do anything. If I hit the release compound vector now, it turns everything back into individual. So now I have everything is individual now. You know, I can pull this, it groups it. Again, I wish they could make that turned off, but and this is where it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, but everything gets pulled off. Now I can individually mess with this file. And that's one of the main features I would suggest getting 2.0 also. Between this one and the next one I'm going to show you. But um so like I said, turn this into a negative. Basically you just outline it. Because I'm so large, we'll keep it at that. Move that to a different layer so we have a different color. And then, like I said, this is why I actually separated it. So I can see if a few people watching here. Again, if you guys got any new people that hopped in, any questions, guys, seriously. I mean, I can only talk about myself for so long. Again, I got a few things I wrote down, but I was trying to get some feedback. I want some information. I was combing the Facebook pages just before I got here, so see if I can find more stuff. Outline. So even on this one, it was going to outline outward, but again, another thing you can do is you can do negatives. So all you do is type in a negative number. So for an innard like this, and this is where it actually helps because you can actually cut the center of, you can do the center of letters now and stuff like that. So I mean, really, I don't have to do all this. Let's do this real quick. So let's see what happens here. I might move. I might do that though, because you're still gonna want these. Well, basically, I just create a border. That's how you create borders for. I mean, now it's just the border. That's where I would offset these because then they go the other way. And that's where going different sizes. But that is one way to do an offset. Let's do back up again. Undo is your friend. Again. Back up. Bigger than this. So big. I do this with a lot of like mascots and stuff for customers. I'll flip their stuff for them. And this is if you want to put it on a cup or, you know, obviously I'm pretty sure the inside is going to give me some fits, but it gives you a starting point. You know, there's some obviously some stuff on the inside. And that's why, like I said, that one feature is nice to have. Yeah, see, I would go in there and do these. Because if you want to do the border, again, you can go thicker and stuff like that. So that's another way to do a negative. You're inverting everything basically. So it gives you that border around the items. So all right, what else we got? Oh yeah, I know another one. Should we use this again? So these are little knobs in here. You know, normally I have to go in here, try to get close, clean them up. Now you double click on the objects, it gives you nodes that you can play with. Very, very, I love this feature. I do a lot of cleaning with this one now, because now I just gotta go in here and not accidentally select the wrong thing. But in this sense, I can just select these, box select these. I clean those up, you know. If you want to change the star, you want to add something, it gives you a lot more options. You know, you want to make this a little bit different. You can pull these in, go a little bit different star, stuff like that. It makes designing so much easier. Obviously, that looks terrible. I'm not a very good designer. So the fonts, make sure it's weird. I've seen it happen on two different computers. So it's a good question, actually. As long as they're downloaded and installed on your computer, so as long as you can see them in Word or whatever, they should be in XCS. You do have to hop out of XCS if you install one and then come back in, just to let you know. But I mean, all your fonts, and again, it's weird because um, I've had this happen two different ways. So Xtool has their Xtool selected typeface. I've seen them at the top and I've seen them actually at the bottom. Lately, they've always been at the top. So no matter which software you're on, your mobile, this laptop, that laptop, anytime you open it, these ones will always be there. When I go to shows and craft shows, these are the ones I have people pick from because I know they're always going to be in my laptop or my tablet or wherever. But you should be come down to system typeface. Those are the ones that you installed. So these should all be, you know, whatever you have should be installed in there. If they're not, I know I've seen some issues with like tablets and stuff like that, but as long as you import them. Now, XCS does not like the, what do they call them? I don't want to call them wing dings, but the funny shapes where they're supposed to give you that extra, you know, swirly or a heart. Sorry, excuse me, guys. So some of them do work, some of them don't. I have a couple in here that do have the, I think the hearts after them. It's really weird because it's nothing I'll ever use. Just the fact I can scroll through them now and look at them is, I love that feature. It's crazy. You wouldn't think like this one. So these ones, so yeah, these are, yeah. It does that funny tail thing and it's like, it don't really work well with them. So I don't know if it's that reason why you can't see them, but that's one of the tricks of that kind of thing. So what else we got here? Let's do a photo real quick. I know some people asked about that earlier today. You know, there's a few things you can do with photos. I'll actually bring in two different things. So say you only get a PNG of this file. This one here. And this is another nice feature with this new one. Before you could do it, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Bring it up here so everybody can see it. And again, I am on the P2 right now. I do have the S1 hooked up. So if you guys got any questions with S1, I can switch over to that one too. So again, that is another feature. If people don't know what 2.0 is, you can have as many, I can't say it, you can have 6 tabs open across the top and you can run every laser, all 6 at the same time if you have 6 to run. So that is a nice feature, especially for a guy that has 5 now. It's hard for me to keep up trying to hire my kids. It's not working very well. So, but yeah, you can use the same P2 while it's running. You can have the same one open and still run it. It's kind of funny because you'll watch the laser, it'll be in the middle of the screen all of a sudden. So obviously the refresh sucks, but or I can change this to. So this is where you pick your lasers now. Let's see if it gives me fits. I actually kind of want it to. So it's just going to ask you to switch to a different laser. Yes, because obviously the settings are a little different. Still says not connected, so let's see if it connects. Sometimes it doesn't. I actually kind of hope it doesn't, but probably will. Yeah, see it connected. All mine are on Wi-Fi, so I don't hardwire none of my lasers. Have no issues. Never had an issue with speed, anything like that. So that is weird. They should be in there. I'm just trying to think where else they could be. I don't think it makes a difference for your fonts if it's a true font or if it's a typeface, the two different types. I think I put both of them in there and they both popped up. I would just make sure you're scrolling down. I mean, I would double check. I know tablets and like I said, tablets and phones are different. Obviously, they don't like the jive as much, but that one makes me curious. The way somebody else had an issue with that, and I'm trying to remember how we fixed it. But if for some reason your laser doesn't connect up here, old school way, I'm gonna say old school because guys, if you're in 1.7, this is what normally comes up. Sometimes you got to go back here. Obviously, I'm not gonna have nothing because I don't have nothing connected USB. Click on Wi-Fi. It should throw me a list. Just click on the one. If it's not green, just click on it. It will connect. I don't want to say never. 99% of the time, it will always connect this way. So, the more I connect it, I don't need to. So, but where was I going? Pictures. Yes. Let's get a picture. So stuff like this. This is a PNG. I mean, obviously, I got SVG too, but this is another nice one. So pictures. There's two different things. Your edit. If you want to go in there just erase something out, you can go and erase this out. Erase some of these stars. You got an eraser. I was kind of hoping there's a background so you can show you magic eraser. We'll do that with some photos. Crop. We'll come back to that one. So trace image, that's another one that people, it's handy. It's very handy. It works very well. I'm gonna try two different things because again, there's an old school way of doing some stuff too. And I made it mad. But I mean, that's one shot, let it go, its own settings, and it picked everything. If something doesn't show up or something gets a little fuzzy, this is where like a PNG, that if you want to have something that's editable and you only can get a PNG, this is a way to do it. You just hit save. Obviously, you can sometimes some things don't always go through, but now you have cut it. Now you can do whatever you want with it. Take that item and put it into another design. It's one of those things. It's the nice thing. Small items for wood and metal. I would suggest if you're looking for small stuff, they want to cover both bases. And if you're not looking for anything big, I mean, F1 or the F1 Ultra all day long. You're looking at small stuff. I mean, I love the Ultra or the S1 for shows. You can do stuff so fast. I'm getting more fond of cutting because I've been able to do leather patches and I can do. We've done some on-site earrings. The customer wants a set. I don't like the taper I get from cutting with the F1 though, because you will get a beveled edge. But yeah, I mean, for speed for small items, if you're looking at just wood and metals, F1 or F1 Ultra all day long, no doubt about it. So it covers both your bases. If you were looking into bigger sizes, I would start out with the S1. The P2 will cover 90% of your stuff, and your speed is on par. I mean, I love my P2. It's just so fast and cutting. So, and I know there's lasers out there just faster, and people want to diss them, but I like it. I like XCS. I mean, that's why I do this how-to thing, because I really do like the software. I tried Lightburn. I was not a fond of it. I do a lot of photos, so it just wasn't giving me the results I was looking for. So, and I know people, like I said, and that might be just me. I didn't go into the settings enough and play with enough settings. That's the thing with Lightburn, is you can actually have more ability to change the settings than you can in XCS. It's getting more and more and more ability to make adjustments. And like I said, we'll see once we get the F1 how much more we can go. Obviously, I know like you can change angles now with the F1, so when it scans, it does it in different orders. So good, Cody. I don't feel like I'm not the only person. It's not that I don't like Lightburn. I just, when I first started, everybody wanted to say, "Hey, do Lightburn, do Lightburn." It was the ease of XCS was easier. Yes, it didn't have some editing stuff and software. I used Inkscape at the time, but seriously, since 2.0 has come out, I do not use hardly any other software. The only other one I would use is Imager. I do like Imager for photos. It does make nice crisp. You can do stuff in here. You're doing coasters, slate, put a photo in here, send it to the laser. It does a phenomenal job. You know, again, little stuff. It does good. I do like that. Now they can do the DPI and all that stuff. So, but let's do a photo here. Let's see if I can find a photo. What's the potential customers? So this is another one. So hey, you get this in, and you like, hey, I don't want all that white background. And this is where, editing photos and stuff, um, you can do it. I mean, it's not bad in here. And we had worked with a customer this last week, and we got a quick photo of her puppies that actually turned out halfway decent, with a couple adjustments. Edit image. This just gets rid of this white haze. So this fuzziness, I wish they wouldn't change this to fuzziness. It's more like scale, your gray scale, white scale is what it is. So the higher it is, if it was shaded, it would do it. But it's a quick, easy background remover. I mean, as long as it grabs everything, obviously you're gonna have inside these letters and stuff, but anything that color, that shade, it will get rid of it. I really do love that feature. You can go in there and clean some stuff up. I use this feature to do. I did some baseball. I did a baseball bat for a group. Some kids won their championship, and they all signed a bat. I just had them sign a white piece of paper with a Sharpie. Took a picture of it, brought it in here. I was able to just delete the white background, pulled all their names in, and it's cool because they write sloppy because they're all 10-year-olds, and it was awesome. So, but so Imager does let you edit photos probably more than in here. So it's not really a Lightburn thing. Imager is its own website, its own entity. I know a lot of people, the pass through feature. I get what you're saying, no pass through. Uh, I still don't have issues with them. I still like it. It still makes a nice photo. It's weird though. Since they did do the update, I think recently I've actually had to cut back on my lines per centimeter. I normally run about between 80 and 90 on most of my photos after I run it through Imager and then bring it in. Because when you get more lines, it's not always cleaner when you start crushing stuff together. So that's my take on that. So um adjustments. So I know a lot of people, even I found this one a few months ago, grayscale. If you pull these, it will flip your photo to a grayscale. It'll do it no matter what. You hit process, it will flip you to a grayscale. But you can actually change the darkness with these pull levers here. Now some people haven't realized that. You can turn some whites on, turn some darks off, and play with some settings there. And then obviously again we had another person early today was asking If you want to do a coaster, invert an image. This is where you do it under adjustments right here. Invert. It looks funny. It is a negative, but you got to remember anything that's black, anything that's engraved will turn white on an image, or silver, obviously, between a cup or a coaster. So that's where, again, you just got to look at that two-tone. Once you start seeing stuff like that, it's easier to understand how colors and depths and, getting that kind of stuff. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see. What else you guys got? What you guys got for me? You guys got to have some more questions out there. Cody, we're all trying to start a side business. I'm not doing too bad. I keep myself busy. So we're getting ready to do a 10-day fair. So that one's gonna kick my butt. So coming up here in about 2 weeks. But I like doing it. It's fun. Because I like talking to people. My wife doesn't. I do. So let's see. What else we got? Like I said, that node editor is, one of the handiest things. I don't have my thing for my F1. So for people with an F1, just let you guys know, when they did the update, a lot of people complained that it wasn't S2.0, it makes everything slow again. I don't know why they did it. When they did the update, the first 2.0 update, they turned on a called Fast Smart feature. It used to be over here under this. It's not no more. Again, this is for F1 users. Now it's under auto planning. I don't have mine plugged in. It's back there for looks right now. I turn it on. But under auto planning, user defined, it's in here now. So instead of 1x1, there's one spot that says smart fill. That's where you turn smart fill on. And then it eliminates all the white. It doesn't sit there and go back and forth for like a gantry laser. So for people in 2.0, this is one thing they did add also. You can actually start and go from the bottom to the top now instead of pushing it away from the exhaust. You actually just click that. It'll go from the bottom to the top. What else we got? Man, I got so many things I can show you people. What do you guys all have? I know say David said he's got the S1. I know mostly I've been posting this in the S1 because they let me post the link in the S1 group. So that's why I kind of went to the S1 side. So more you guys heard it than other people. So we can go over this real quick. Well, since we're in here, obviously that's your laser module. S1, move everything by hand. I mean, you can move it by hand, you can move it by the laser. So if you go to framing, you move your laser. It's nice. Someday they might put this in a P2. It's one thing I missed. This is why, like I said, if I started with my first laser, I would probably start with an S1. If I'm doing it for a hobby, just start out, just to get my feet wet, I would start with an S1 all day long. Recommended highly. It will get you into it, get you used to it. I love doing tumblers on that S1, honestly. I know the P2 is a little faster, but it's so easier and faster to set up on the S1. That's where I started too, Brock. Started with the D1 non-pro, so the D1, and then got the extensions for it. And then about 6 months later, the P2 came out. So if you're looking for speed, that's where, like I said, I went from the D1 to the P2, and it makes you feel like you can keep up. I know the D1, that was my biggest downfall, the D1, trying to start, the side business and keep up with orders and still have a full-time job. But speed was for sure. So Christina, how do you like that 40 watt? Have you done a lot of photos with it? The only thing I don't have, I have the 20 watt, so they let us play with that one. And I haven't got any other heads for it yet. So real quick, S1, again, I'm sure you guys all know about marking. We'll go over this real quick though. Oh yeah, it's not gonna let me do it. So I don't have it. There. Got a Lions fan. Got to represent. One thing I'll show you the marking that some people know, some people don't know. Um, again, I like the marking system. Again, I wish it was on some other stuff, but honestly, Cody, I have not had an issue with any of the lasers. I mean, really, the D1 was probably the one that had the most potential issues. But other than that, I mean, all the lasers I can. The P2 is cool because I can take something out and I can put it back in with that close-up camera and actually pick it back up and run it a second time. I've done that a few times. Not always on par, but most of the time. So, for the new people that do marking, you do odd shapes. I'm sure I got some under here. But say you're doing a polygon. Again, this is just more to get you a general idea where something is. But you know, you can do this 10 different ways. That's why I kind of like this one. I like polygons because I can do what I need to do to get that information where I need it. So quickly. So one thing you guys can do. So obviously I did a quick. Man, that's kind of bad. It's supposed to be a stand, but you just message me on Messenger, or I'll contact you probably, Christina, and we'll get in touch. But one thing people don't know they can do with the shape feature is if you come over here, instead of hitting done, you just click another shape. You can add more shapes. You can add as many different shapes on the screen. So end marking. Let's see, I'm gonna circle. And if you want an area that you don't want to go near, that's what some people don't realize you can do. Again, I'm just throwing shapes on the screen, obviously. So, and marking, but you can put as many different shapes up there as you want. Um, again, they're utilized and they are handy because one of the other features that I didn't like at first, I do like now, is say circle. I hope everybody knows circle. You hit the C button, there's a lot of shortcuts. A lot of shortcuts now, which is good. If you hold the shift button down, it keeps it the same size. My circle is not going to look circle because my screen is stretched. At least I don't think it will. I'm not sure. Actually, it looks not too bad on YouTube, looks like. So, but so if you want a perfect surface, you can see these little lines, all these lines that are snapping around on the screen. That's the snap too. They're nice, but they also can be a pain in the butt. But you can actually snap to one of your features. That's how you get that true center. Be careful. Obviously, the more stuff you have on the screen, the more stuff it wants to snap to know where you need to be at. Um, that is one thing that some people don't realize you can do. So I do like a lot of live edge stuff, and I'll use that. I'll run us into something else that I can show you guys with the masking feature also. So, but Snap is very handy. It lets you line stuff up. Um, whatever you got. It lets you put stuff side by side. Man, I'm not used to talking about myself this long. But and that's where it's getting. So this is another feature. It's a quick. It isn't always perfect. So don't assume it is. I would still get close, and myself, I still will go to the line, a line on top, to make sure that it's truly in the right spot. If you ever want to group something, say you have these inside of another square that you want to group, you want those perfectly centered. This is where grouping comes in. Like I said, grouping is only for design purposes. It has nothing to do with the laser. It doesn't tell it when to go here, when to go there. Nothing to do with it at all. All it is for designing purposes and pretty much this reason. So this is where you can, see it'll get crosshairs here. And see, this is where it gets said. This is where the crosshairs gets funny. This is where I just snap is good, snap is not always good. So stuff like that. So snap's good. If you want to turn snap off, that is a hotkey now. Control R will turn it off, and now I can put it anywhere I want. I don't got nothing restricting me. It's great. So let's see. I'm not losing no light here. Let's look at 5 you watching. All right. Yeah, you guys got any other questions? I would like anything. We can go over some masking. Oh, I know. Christina asked about ornaments. That one. So if you delete, just let you know, if you do delete it, it deletes everything on the screen. It doesn't delete just one of them of the marking areas. Sucks. I wish you could like pick which one you want to delete, but fortunately you can't. But so yeah, ornaments. I love Christmas ornaments. Everybody loves a good Christmas ornament. So to do a Christmas ornament, hit the right button. Circle. Let's go for a circle. Either offset or not offset. I like the offset feature myself. I'm an inch guy. I don't like metric, so that darn offset gets me every time. Gotta hit the confirm button. Confirm. So right now we're gonna do this real quick. We're kind of do another little tutorial. Engrave. So obviously red's on top, black's on the bottom. We don't like that. Our subtract button won't work. Send to the back. So this is how you get your outer lip, a little on the thin side, but run it. And this is what like I said, subtract works. So we hit subtract. Now I got an outer lip. What I do that as. This is where, like I said, CAD background 4.24. That's and then you want to put your stuff on the inside shapes. Let's see, Christmas tree. The Christmas tree. This is some of the stuff that people. I want this tree to be right there. I got that little bit hanging out. I want to clean that up. The bad thing about this is again, they have the wording on this stuff not right. It really needs to be worded differently. So I wish they would do this a little bit different and not subtract everything all the time. So I gotta make another circle. And it's gonna be. I'll show you why I'm doing this other circle. So 4.25. 4.25. I like different colors just because it helps me differentiate what I'm gonna do in case I need to grab, especially when you got stuff laying on top of each other. You do different colors, it makes it easier because you can just go down to the bottom down here, hit your layer, grab that green one only, grab the red one only. You know, you can either go there or you go to layers and you can go in the tree area and still and grab it one by one. It's another way to do it. So, um, but this, so you want to make this. So unfortunately, they still don't have this thing set up where one is like it doesn't move. So they both might move. So that's one thing you gotta be careful of. But to trim this tree off, again, I wish they'd change this feature and call it trim because that's what it is. So I got the tree, I got the blue outside circle. The unite and overlap. 95% more it's a trim. Because oh, why does it do this to me? Every time. It likes messing with me, I swear. I swear it does. Blue one. Level locations shouldn't matter. Make sure I didn't have the red one. Yeah. See, I think I have the red one inside of the blue one. So that's what the red one's supposed to, the blue circle. And that was the United overlap. Like I said, it's more of a trim. So anything you got sticking outside of a feature that you want to get rid of, as long as you have another copy of that feature, it will trim it off. So, you know, you do that. And then if you want to union this to your ornament, union. So now it's going to cut all that out. What else we got? We got put some text in there. I know, Christmas in July, right, guys? So one of the other things, so these features over here, um, this one here squishes words together. So get that spacing. You don't have to do it one by one. Trying to actually get them to touch a little bit. So something like that. And then this one here, which is weird, it's a lot smaller moves. I don't know why. But we'll squish stuff. Squish it there. Obviously, negative goes one way, positive goes the other way. So you want to go that route, or you can do. I'm trying to do to get it, you'll see why. But now I got everything touching. So now I'm gonna weld this. So your weld turns that obviously into a union piece. See, it shows a little bit farther. I have a gap in there. Again, undo. Gotta love that undo button. Don't be scared of the undo button. I'll use it a bunch of times. No problem. What you got? Yeah. It's not a bad way to do that, Philip. I mean, that's the way we used to do it, Union stuff, subtract it. And even the subtract, I still will go in there and actually subtract out. I got another example. I'll show you that there's new features now that you can use that comes in real handy. So obviously, Merry Christmas. Put this up in here. And this is where, again, another one where I would probably do, what I would do with this one. Come on. We're going to unlock it so we can not totally lose my scale. Make it touch there, make it touch there. you know, but I don't really want to cut the tree out in sense. I want to union this here. And this is where obviously it's a weird one. I would copy this and paste it in this sense. What I would do, again, I'm a math guy. I like numbers. I like XYZ coordinates in my background. So I no problem doing this. Some people do. I just align the tops. Uh, what I do is I copy this X dimension. So X is left to right, Y is up and down. Um, 0, 0 is upper right hand corner, always on all the lasers. Upper left, I said left, like upper left hand corner. So, so with this one, what I do, you know, a couple of you guys asked about doing this, so I would cut this one out. So I'm going to union this together. So now it's in there, but I lose my H and I lose my C. So what I would do is I would take this one, different color. This is where I just copy paste, hit the wrong button. See, all right, gotta do the unbutton. I hit the wrong button. So now it goes over top. How do you score that? More than likely, I'd score that because then you get your H and your R, and that's where you know I'd leave it just like this. You don't have to union it. You don't have to let you can let it float out there. You know, you're scared that you're gonna move it out of the way. You know, group it together. You know, if you want to add another little snowman, whatever in there. So that's do this real quick. We'll add. Oh, so this is another thing. Why is Escape doing it to me? One more quick thing. When you're using the shapes, any of these shapes up here, it's weird. They still do this stupid thing where it goes in the middle of the screen, top right. I don't know why. Even if I use a square box, see if this does this. See if the square box still does it or not. So square box will still do it. You can actually use the radius. It's the only one feature you can use the radius, corner radius on. So it will, and it does all four corners. You can't pick a corner, which kind of sucks. Maybe that's something new. We'll see if we can talk to them about doing something with. That would be a handy one. And it scales. It doesn't make you all funny and move stuff. And I'll say that it doesn't scale. I swear it scaled. Well, we'll just go in there and change it or delete it. And this is where, like I said, usually get your size to what you want it to be and then put your radiuses on it. So, it's not bad. Like I said, it's just getting used to doing this stuff, guys. It's just using it. That's like I said, it's why we do these videos. So you can see people doing it, kind of go back. This will be on my live, on my channel. You can go back and watch it anytime. I think it'll be posted tomorrow. It might be posted tonight. I don't know. I'm still working on that whole live thing. So, but now obviously I don't want to go too far down in there because it won't union in there. So I'm gonna stay up. And again, this is where we can kind of do this too. So hey, I want to do this. This is again such a good benefit. So obviously I union this. I don't want to try to put these together while they're unioned. Don't do that. It gives you headaches. It don't like grabbing multiple things and trying to do multiple things. So obviously, oh, I don't like that. I don't like the way those corners are. So this is where the node editor comes into handy. So just double click. It's the only thing I wish they'd fix too. They put 9 million freaking nodes. on these darn things. It's almost annoying. Just hit delete. You don't have to get fancy and grab each one separately. Another way to do it, let's see. I don't know which way it goes. So it goes one way or the other. So when you pick one, so you want this node. You pick that node, you hit delete, hit delete, hit delete. It just keeps going around the circle. So that's another little trick. Then again, if you want to add a radius in there, there's two things you can do. You'll go over here, you click that button, maybe. That node out of the way. Not sure why I put so many nodes in there. It does do this funny weird thing, you know. I don't know why it does that all the time. Oh, that's why it messed me up. Deleted a different node. That's funny. And there is different types of nodes, so that's where it's. So the other thing you can do too is, say, all right, I don't like where these are at. You can do two things. You like where this node is. We'll see if I can actually box select those. You can still use these features for the alignment. So obviously I can't do that. I like doing this. You can box select and move stuff over too with your arrow keys. So I have one more. All right. Let's see what you guys got. Right now, I do these classes once a month, usually at the end of the month, kind of like now. Again, didn't realize a lot of places are doing fireworks. My town is doing fireworks tonight, so kind of caught me off guard. So we'll hang out for about 15 more minutes, and then we'll probably wrap it up. So if you guys got any specific questions, you want to see something, anybody new hopping on, anybody not, you get anybody else that's there. Again, this node editor is a great feature. Let you play. I didn't fix that, but and then if you want to add your circle, turn that back off, add a circle. Let's see about that big. Go there. So this is where it's kind of weird because I didn't put that in the center. See if it worked. It did. Well, I mean, that's something you could send it later. I mean, it's one of those things. Christmas in July. I'm already do that. I got a bunch of Christmas stuff I need to get rid of from my shows, so got new stuff coming. Let's see what else. All right, so another thing that's actually quite handy, and I do a lot of for my photos. Let's do. I'll use my mug. Use my mug. That's being main. Now that picture's not gonna work. I can't do it. Can't go harder in the face. This is a good example. So I have this cat. I want to trim out. That's a JPEG. So this is an image from how I got an image from imager.com. So it comes in like this. You can see it's already pointillized, it's dotted. It works. I mean, you can grayscale that if you want. I've heard that's what you're supposed to do. You get an image in from Imager, you run it through grayscale, even though it's already been developed, and it usually comes out better. I still run Jarvis every once in a while, but those are the two I kind of stick with. So with this being a photo, so this is a photo. I want it still trimmed off because, again, you could do it, let it engrave that whole thing, whatever. You don't have to. As long as your SVG file, SVG item, circle, whatever. So right now this is all one piece. So if I did engrave, you can see this is all cut out. These are some calendars we make. But if you want to cut that tail off, again, you just got to select. Again, it has to be one solid SVG file. As long as one, can't be two. I can't add a circle. It won't like it. If I select all this stuff, see if it lies to me. It is lying to me. It's probably masked. Ah, see, that's why. Can't have two. Such a rookie. This is why I have to. I'll show you why I have to. And select two items. Great mask. So again, this is a nice thing. You can do this with all photos. So if you got a photo of something you want to mask out, invert, put words inside of a photo, stuff like that. You see the create mask. It still lets you position the image inside of your mask. Hit done. Now it's only going to engrave that area. I'm sorry, I didn't record where this one was supposed to go. So we'll just guesstimate somewhere in there. And then you can trim it out. That's why I put it back over. So that way I'm just not wasting a bunch of time engraving something that I'm just going to cut off anyways. I could have done it that way, but time is money, right? So let's see what else we got. Again, we can do the same thing. We'll do that real quick. Photos. This is one I did for a customer. It turned out really good. So what I do is I normally take a picture just inside the thing. This was a mask. Another way to do a mask. That's me. Wanted it's more of a screenshot. That's why it's not letting me do what I thought it was going to let me do. It's not the file, so. But so I can go in there if I did the profile of this, board. And this is what I'll do normally. Something like this. So I'm getting the exact form of that board. I'm not getting all these weird shapes. It could be up in here. Live edges are nice, but I don't need to burn stuff I don't want to burn. Get done. Obviously, it's going to turn a little funny, but again, create the mask. It's going to cut out and follow the edge of that board. And that's where, like I said, you can do stuff where you're not wasting your time engraving stuff that you don't need to engrave. That's the benefit of mask. Same thing here. I cut out the Chevy. I just went in there, put the word Chevy in there, masked it out. But I did have to put a border around and then the Chevy, subtract it, and then do it because the way the mask works, it can do the one. It went backwards the other way. So let's see. All right. What else we got? Anything else? Anybody, any questions? People trying to pay attention to the lives, the chats. So I think I got 7 people watching. I appreciate it. I really do. I hope I got everybody something out of it. So another trick. This is an old school trick. Actually, I'm gonna that file. Show you a different one. with a PNG file. So if you end up getting another PNG file, no problem. Let's go to picture files. So say you get this bulldog photo. If you don't know about trace, that's because this won't work. This is actually a good example. So if I go in here and I hit edit image, again, it might take me a minute, but magic wand. Again, use of the magic wand. You gotta delete, if you don't have a transparent PNG, why sometimes they come in with it, sometimes they don't. Just showing you some stuff on this one too. I won't do everything. I'll just do the gist of it. If I don't, you'll see why. So I left some of these things still have their white on them. Obviously we have trace now. Before you didn't have trace. And this is another way to do something if something for some weird reason doesn't work. You hit outline. And right now it's actually they got a set, so it actually will do the inside. So it's kind of cool. So you can do some shadowing and stuff like that. Or turn that off. Let's see if it's gonna prove me wrong. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. You set it to 0. Hit confirm. So it did. Okay. Try one more time. It used to actually grab everything on the inside, but they did change this wording to add inner bitmap. If we set that to 0. This was the way we used to have to trace before 1.7. So now that's an SVG. I can cut, I can score, I can engrave it. It's again one of those things where it's little tricks, little stuff we've learned. Again, now with this 2.0, guys, I swear you'll have less issues than you think you will. It's worth it. It's very much worth it. So I have this item. You have this release compound vector option now under vectors. This is part of the EndNote stuff. If I hit that button, it did go all blue. I get it, but if I go to score, you can see I got every little. This is the one that everybody's like the group on group thing. This is the group on group that Lightburn totes about, that everybody says, hey, go do that. That's the new group button that now you can go in there, edit, do stuff, clean up stuff. Here's another one a lot of people see. I'm just gonna move this stuff out of the way because it's usually these words. So you'll get a bunch of words that are like this. So the inside of the B is still there. It's can't get that out of there. If you get that, that's another one. Just select everything. That subtracted overlap. Cleans it all out. Again, you can't edit it now, so it's not there for other features. But again, you do it. If it doesn't work for you, you select it again. You hit release compounds, and now they're back. So it's so much more editable. Like I said, anybody that wants to, I'll go up. The only thing we can't do yet is warp text. So I think I can keep up with pretty much anybody in Lightburn. If anybody wants to challenge me, I got you. So I know there's a few people in the XCS group that are diehard Lightburn fans. I'll keep up with you as much as I possibly can. So I appreciate that, Joe. I really do. I try to answer as and be nice about some things. There's no dumb questions. There really isn't. Everybody starts somewhere. As I said, you guys, we all spend a lot of money on these lasers, and it sucks that you can't do what you want to do. So that's why I do these classes, do these, just these how-tos, try to go over what I can go over. Hopefully we get some more people, some more questions. You know, maybe I do a little bit fancier display. Again, I'm used to, I'm just new to the live stuff. I've done some photo, you know, editing stuff, but or video editing stuff, but I'm a one man band right now, so maybe down the road we'll get some more people in here to help out and answer more questions. So I appreciate everybody's stuff. Like I said, like my YouTube page, I appreciate it. I try to put little snippets every time I think about something. I'm like, hey, I'll throw that snippet up there real quick. How to do this, how to do that. Um, for people that are getting into laser burn and are looking for directions on business types, um, Matt, oh, I'll put his link in the notes. He's one that and then Laser Everything is another group of guys that it's a good laser group that's gives you a lot of information. It helped me out tremendously. So those two Facebook pages or YouTube channel, they're both YouTube channels. Laser Everything is one that does a lot of stuff, a lot of input. They do cover every laser, so it's not just XCS stuff. That's why kind of I'm doing trying to do this to kind of focus down, do what we can do. Again, if anybody ever wants a more one-on-one, contact me, find me on the Facebook page. I'm in pretty much every group besides the M1 group because that's the only laser I don't own. So other than that, I think I'm gonna wrap her up. So we got fireworks tonight, a week early, but hey, let's go do it. Other than that, like I said, if there's any last minute questions, you guys want to hop in, throw something out there. If not, I think we're gonna call it a night. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. Okay, I had 6 or 7 of you that hung out with most of me tonight. I appreciate it. Like I said, we do these pretty much every month. Again, they've already done 2 updates since the last month I did this, so maybe we'll have another update next month. So, alrighty. Well, have a good night, everybody. I appreciate it. See if I can do this elegantly in my stream. I don't have no outro music or nothing like that. So appreciate it. Get any questions, guys, hit me up on Facebook. Leave a message in the comments. I try to go back through and watch them or read them in here even. So, all right. Have a good night, guys.